Peace. What's going on, brothers and sisters? This is Mr. Random coming to you with another word on the street. Today we have King Julian, a brother that I met just in passing. The universe just kind of brought us together and I turned my phone on. So without further ado, this is the uncut raw video, King Julian.
My brother, I say this much. I don't speak of boasting, but I'm saying this much to say we have a reason to look into our own lives and our own purpose out here. We have a reason to say we can help to make a change of good when we must find the purpose in the child, the inheritance. We have a rip that is so far apart. It's a rip of generations. That to mend it, we must cultivate something new to place that tear to connect. But then what comes thereafter should prosper, or we must plant the seed. It should not come through difficulties. It should come through our true sincerity. We can gain help from other areas in the spiritual realm of life. Om Shanti Om. I've learned these words from the Hindu, as I've learned tranquility and peace from the Buddhas. I've learned from the Quran, I read the words. I've learned the spiritual guidelines through Christianity, and these guidelines is not being maintained. These guidelines were instructions written in stone. These were told to man by stories, biblical time. I can tell you one of my own. Yeah. Daniel in the lion's den. You know that story?
Oh, mm-hmm.
You know, he was in a den with 5 hungry lions that never devoured him. I was in a den with 500 overseas. The US government knows this. And the reason why I say, because they came to see me and they told me I will need their help. But then I heard what kind of help they were going to render. You would have persecuted me if I'd signed 6 pieces of paper versus I signed 1. And they did this. They gave me a double salute. And they comforted me with words saying, you're on your own. And not only that, they say, we're going to take your passport, there will be no more value. So where I'm at, I will have to stay until the duration. King man, I ask the Most High to place upon the judge in the heart of man mercy. Do you know how important that is? That you can make that request yourself?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, first we must know the importance of compassion.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All of us have our own power in different ways.
My brother, that is why we are now the kindred spirit.
And if you really look at it, all of us living right now, all of us is kings.
Well, here it is now again.
All of us is kings.
I will tell you another story of this. In my country, Guyana, South America. You know where this is? Above Brazil, Guyana.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You know Brazil? Rio de Janeiro.
But I know, I know Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, South America.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the top eastern area. You can go across. You can, if you so choose to be the adventurous one, you can drive across through the interior. We call it jungles. It's a nice place, but it also has something, the element of corruption that is global. And having a small population, right now we're still within a million. Everybody strives in that jungle to be number one.
Right.
How can a man like me, with a smile on my face, be in the company of such the notorious? I was invited, a guest, to see what has happened since I left. And what I saw, it seduced me, my mind. Everything that was around me became like a magnet to that one thing.
Yeah. Let me run up with
Yes, blessings be Almighty.
I'm gonna be back.
Okay, my brother, one love. Yes. Kingman, we all have a story. We all have a story in life that we can offer as inspiration. But we cannot tell lies. We cannot come with weeping eyes asking somebody and encourage somebody to come with you to believe your ills so we can say, no. We will head into self-destruction. And that is where we are right now. We are believing in those who come with titles. Prophet, bishop, deacon, reverend, this, that. But we are all in the eyes of the Most High. We're just images. Between ourselves, we're images. We see our faces and we see a smile, we see a grin, we see frogging and all this stuff. But through the eyes of the merciful King of Kings, Lord of Lords, we are the children. But we were supposed to be the children that had within themselves this form of tenderness, as tender is as nature in a balanced way. As tender of anything that mankind can say has life. Yahweh, Yahweh, life giver. Put these in its respective place to honor God, creator, creation. How can we claim this superior and not claim what we see in life, nature? We see the waterfalls, we go to the beach to see the waves and take a dip in the sun and expose ourselves to the world, and all we see is flesh. But we do not value the element of water. We do not value the element of light, which is the sun, which is the most powerful. I have a story to tell the world about a day that will forever remain. I was living on the south side. I can tell you the location of the place. The people out there they know me very well. In the West Side Plaza Mall, where there was once a Fred's and Big Lots. Do you know that place?
No.
Well, it is two department stores that are...
Is it here?
Yes, no, West Side.
Oh, see, I'm not from here.
Oh yeah, tennis. Oh my goodness. But
I'm
you know
from
what's
Memphis.
But so, not ironic, but so worthy to know that you're also from a place where I have a friend. He's from there too. I treasure his company. I met him just as I met you, just in walking passing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have stories, my brother. I have stories to share with the world of favor, true favor. So when a man or woman come to say they're blessed and highly favored, I look upon them and ask them, share with me the story. Share with me the story of favor. So I shall be amazed, for I am amazed also. We have to have something more than just what we see. People go after vanity. Man become this player, baller, Mac. That is shameful form that disrespects the woman. Yes, my brother. So I have returned, even though just a moment, just to ease the mind and bring forth more meaning and thoughts. I stopped by describing myself amongst my fellow comrades or men, brothers, whatever we call ourselves. But I stand to be reckoned with when I deny being called or claimed a player. I see no value in it because the player becomes the baby daddy. The player becomes the lustful that only sees flesh. The player disrespects the woman, calls her shawty. The player, bomba clat me say so. You walk in shame, player. I fell in love before. Not just once, not just twice, but many times over. I have great stories of the woman with whom I fell in love with. She also had great stories too. I will say this, olive juice. And you will know who I'm speaking of. We had such a wonderful, and still do, a beautiful beginning for this woman I speak of. I claim her my Angela Bassett, a woman who I admire playing the role of Tina Turner, and it's a wonderful thing to see her strength. I admire a woman who has persevered. I see it in the face of the woman of the 60s. I see it in the face of the woman of the 50s, the woman who have endured a time when society said she was less than, or he was less than. I think you call it segregation. You made this law, abomination, persecutor, dung presser, oppressor. But yet, this law became like a curse. Man became bitter towards each other. You see, we were not to allow our lives to design itself in that way. Mankind, we were warned, oh my goodness, we were warned. If I speak of a time of Babylonia, I guess I will have to have somewhere or another to prove this to you. I can only tell you this in a story. If I was to speak of the time of the pharaohs of Egypt, again I'll have to tell you this of a story. If I were to speak of your period, your recorded history, I guess I will have to speak also of a story. These stories that I will speak of are the stories that became, not in random, but over a period of time, I can get even further in the deepness of this to say that this became of a quiet moment in meditation, whereby I knew I traveled because I can say this so, because I began to see things not only from the frontal of my lobe, but my peripheral became so how you say enlightened that what I got a glimpse of from the left side, the glimpse, that moment became an actual picture. And the picture was stored in memory. And the reason why I say this so, because when I began to say to myself, I wondered what else was there. I remembered something else appeared. I said, spare us. And when I said this, spare us, I meant mankind. Spare us from the destruction that was shown to me. I was looking up, my brother. If I say the sky is open, and if I say the sun appeared, it is because I saw what was like the flares. It was turning like this. And it amazed me so much that my soul, through the eye, it beckoned more to see more, for I was so amazed. The sun has no surface, as was said by the CNN News once again, that they have produced a satellite that sits well above the Earth with a powerful telescope that was able to take 2 images of the sun. Both of them I saw. Then they said the sun sits 96 million miles away from the Earth. How amazing this news came to me. I was sleeping at McDonald's, and I must say these places too, McDonald's and Normandy and Lane, they know my face. The managers can tell you, oh, he always slept here, and all this good crap. This is who I am. I'm excited when I'm excited. I express, aha. Anyway, I saw the CNN news, and it kept saying these things for the first time mankind to witness this. Be careful, those words. When it has to do with God, which is creator, which is of everything of life, which can bring wrath, which has happened before, we fail to remember fire and brimstone. They say she turned into a pill of salt. No, that would have been like a consolation prize. Do you know what it is to be horrified beyond horrified? That is what she felt. Life leaked out of her. There was nothing left. It's the way the child feels when the mother or father, oh, forgive me, the baby daddy or baby mommy that punches the child for no reason at all. The parent that tells the child, do not speak to strangers. Have you heard that one before? Do you know how wrong it is? Do you know how wrong it is?
Tell me.
I've seen teenagers that are so antisocial that even if it's to save their lives to keep a job, even if it's to save their lives, you must be able to smile on your own without being told to smile. You must be able to greet on your own without being told to greet. Now I ask you, who are the strangers that a child must be aware of? Tell me. I can tell you. The man who wore a collar around his neck and was found in Georgia hiding, running away from his immoral acts. What did he do? He molested children, but he was considered to be a bishop. He have been in the homes of many families, and their children was allowed to go to him. Now, do you know how to greet the child? We must greet the child in the sitting position if the child stands, so high, so the child will see us eye to eye. My brother, I can tell you stories about my walk on Moncrief. You're not familiar with this place, Moncrief? It's a place just like this that has a notorious element. I was in what they call another hood. We talk about the hood and neighborhood. Well, it was a hood. And I went there, a man, after the woman that he desired, companion, whatever, and a child came out of the room while I was there sitting speaking to the adults, and I saw this child, a young female child. She began to fidget. Do you know what it is? The child that fidgets? Do you know?
No.
Do you know why the child fidgets?
Why?
When the child is in the company of someone that is new, the child begins to fidget out of a child's mind that becomes curious. The child will be able to distinguish and use sound in voice. The child will be able to see a face that may be smiling. Inviting face is a face that smiles. The adult should observe the child in the comfort of fidgeting. So this child came closer, and the child says, uh, the first thing that came out of her mouth when I asked her, I says, who are you? She paused. She says, her birthday, which was June. She mentioned the day. She mentioned something else that her mother was amazed at. She says, how come? She just begins to speak this way to you, a stranger. I was not. Then she says, do you like to read stories? I said yes, because when a child asks me this, I know my role in this. I'll make the songs of the animals and so forth so the child can become enchanted or enlightened, you know. And I told her yes, and she walked over and she grabbed my hands. And she said, come with me, come with me. And she pushed open her door, and when I looked in the corner, there was a stock of storybooks that was like a mountain, my brother. I said, oh, Father, what did I do? She had a little chair, you know, the little kid's chair? She said, sit there, sit there. And I sat down. I said, oh, okay. I did not scream at her and tell her, what are you doing? No, no. And then she went to the books. She started shuffling it out like this. I said, oh, Father, let me see what she's going to do now. She picked up 3 of these books. And she looked at them and she baffled, and she put them 2 and she says, this one, The Little Mermaid. You saw the movie Little Mermaid? Well, the book is very interesting too because there's a little fish that speaks with a little fish voice and a big fish that speaks with a big fish voice. So I begin to to invite her mind into this fairy tale. The child needs this. The child needs this so the child can work their own imagination to not make it in a mischievous way, but to make it in a way that they can acknowledge the gentleness of the butterfly. That the child will not go and grab the butterfly by its wing, let the butterfly come and land on the child's finger. We have become terrorizing forms to the child because we are not even aware of our own surroundings. There is life all around us, and if you do not know that this life exists, if you saw a praying mantis, it will terrorize us if you don't know how gentle it is. And the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is kill it, kill it, kill it. I've seen before a moth, you know what a moth is? And they would fan at the light until they get tired and they fall, and that's it. A short lifespan. But their wings has what looks like eyes. And these are the people that are out there right now that they will come out with such confusion and such terror that they would walk the earth and they would try to shake the ground, never once to step gentle. Vexation becomes their ruler, and they're out for mayhem, bloodshed. These things must change. We have not yet seen anything yet. I've seen the skies, I've seen clouds became as dark as the example will be. Are they going to see this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, first it was a color gray, and then it became this color, but it was like smoke that was coming from, like if you burnt tires, the black smoke that it emits was coming across the skies, but it was not by accident. I saw a blackbird was going like an 8 infinity. And I looked at it and I says, why are in my thoughts, we can communicate from a distance. I can tell you this is so real that we can have the element of angels that are there to serve man. They're there for a reason, but they cannot do this without our help. It is best that we send them out to someone that you know is in need of help. Do not send them out to the ungrateful that has always wanted to get more, you know, always want to be first in line to get most of everything so you can herd it in their whatever. And you send them help when they just have wants, not needs. But outside of that, the bird, a blackbird that we've seen many times on the ground, we must feed these birds that go up so high and so far away, like the seagulls. Great bird. One of them was doing this, and I saw this bird by itself, and I spoke in my mind, why are you there by yourself? It was not moving, it was just going like this. When I looked to the left, there were 2 doing the same thing. We were coming towards that bird. And as though they were looking at something that they were seeing that I did not. I made the mistake to ask. Well, not a mistake, I had to ask. What is this? Because they all began to 3 of them like this. What is this that you're doing? And why are you doing this? And when I looked now to the left, where the clouds were gray, like this, it became black. Like this, it was a terrifying sight to see because if that was to take over the entire skies above, we would have known what day it was. The sun shall not smite man by day, nor the moon by night. It is real. It can happen due to the fact that right now we've made the ozone layer so porous that the sun can, just like that, just when the sun, that sun that is so hot, that can penetrate through the skies above, that we can feel, can just like that, and that would be something would be on the way to planet Earth. The sun is a purifier. Anything that is not of good, that that is going to leave our containment to go out to something that is so great and important, will be extinguished. Those who have day like today with sun, it will become dark. No connections. You could be from here, your home is right there, a couple of feet away, you'll never get home. Because the sight of this is going to cause beyond panic. They're going to be an experience that will be immeasurable. And then whomever has night, if the moon is a brilliant, bright moon, that moon will become what is called the blood moon. And there's a reason for that. It would be a reason for everything. Now those who are in the darkness will now enter into the blood moon point, and whomever is still able to move around, they'll be like the form that was in the dark, hiding, hoping to never be seen. My brother, it will be something that mankind will know that this is a day. But then still, judgment thereafter. And that is where we as the kindred spirits that are prepared for this will not be afraid of that day to come. But I must say this, so I must continue. No, 1 second. I must bless up Canada. Canada, are we still recording?
Yeah.
Canada, you have been truly a gem in many ways. Even though, you see, I went to Canada and I did something that was not honorable in the eyes of law, which is man's law, and country's border, where we violate and we do things and we don't know the consequences behind this. For I was sitting right there. That is how I end up doing the time and so on. But it was not a horrible experience for I made known to many people from all over the world. Also, I was honored by the Inuit people, the Eskimos of Canada. I have stories about Russia. I have stories about Italy. I have stories about China. I have stories about many places. And they will remember me. They will see my face. The difference is my beard. It is gray. It came in almost immediately, and it came in so well. I enjoy it. I cherish it. Never to color it. I'm no hypocrite. You see? This is the only way we can keep it real.
Yeah.
It can't be all bad. It has to be some good. The balance of scale. Yin and yang.
All right, this brother definitely got some words of wisdom. I'm going to have him more on the show later. We'll get some things out of him. I want to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. We'll have more.